On the bustling streets of Manila, where the sound of jeepneys and vendors filled the air, a small boy named Miguel sat on the curb with a battered guitar across his lap. The strings were mismatched, some barely holding on, yet he played with a passion that silenced the noise around him. At just 12 years old, Miguel had already seen more hardship than most adults. His father had passed away 2 years earlier, leaving his mother to work long hours in a nearby market while caring for his younger sister. Miguel played on sidewalks not for himself, but to help put food on their table. Each coin tossed into his worn-out cap carried hope. Behind his tired smile, however, was a dream of one day stepping onto a real stage, where his music could reach beyond the streets and touch hearts across the world. One humid evening, as Miguel strummed quietly outside their small home, his mother sat beside him holding something wrapped in cloth. With trembling hands, she revealed her most precious possession, a delicate gold necklace, the last gift from Miguel's late father. Her eyes glistened as she pressed it into his palm. "This," she whispered, "will buy your bus ticket. Go chase the dream your father always believed in." Miguel's throat tightened. He didn't want her to give it up, but she smiled through her tears, insisting that his voice was their family's light. Days later, Miguel found himself stepping off a bus in front of a towering theater, its bright lights dazzling and intimidating. He clutched his guitar tightly, heart pounding, as he joined the long line of hopefuls. For the first time, he wasn't just a street boy with a broken guitar, he was a dreamer about to be heard. The theater lights burned bright as Miguel walked onto the massive stage, his tiny frame almost swallowed by the grandeur around him. He clutched his old guitar, the strap frayed, his hands shaking with nerves. The judges exchanged cautious glances, another shy kid with a beat-up instrument. The audience murmured, some already skeptical. But Miguel took a deep breath, remembering his mother's words, and strummed the opening chords of Hotel California. The moment his voice rose, the room changed. His tone was raw, soulful, carrying a weight far beyond his years. Every word seemed to tell a story of struggle, loss, and hope. The audience leaned in, silence replacing their chatter. Even Simon, known for his sharp tongue, tilted forward, studying the boy intently. Miguel wasn't just singing a song, he was pouring his heart into every note, and for the first time, the world was listening. Miguel's fingers danced nervously across the strings, each chord echoing like a heartbeat through the silent hall. But then, snap! A string broke, the sharp sound slicing the moment in half. The audience gasped. Miguel froze, his eyes wide with panic, gripping the guitar as if his dream had shattered with that single note. For a brief second, the weight of failure pressed down on him. But then he remembered his mother's trembling voice, "Your voice is stronger than any instrument." Slowly, Miguel set the guitar aside. His chest rose as he closed his eyes and sang on, this time without accompaniment. His voice soared, raw and unguarded, filling every corner of the theater. Each lyric carried his pain, his love for his family, and his unbreakable spirit. Tears welled in the eyes of strangers. The broken guitar no longer mattered, Miguel had found the courage to let his soul sing. As Miguel's final note lingered in the air, the theater erupted. The entire audience leapt to their feet, clapping and cheering through tears. Miguel stood trembling, overwhelmed, his chest heaving from the effort. Then, slam! One of the judges struck the golden buzzer. In an instant, the stage exploded with a shower of golden confetti, cascading like stars from the heavens. Miguel's hands flew to his face as sobs shook his small body. He dropped to his knees, whispering, "Mama, we made it." His words were almost drowned out by the roar of the crowd, but those close enough heard the sincerity in his voice. Even Simon, known for his tough exterior, blinked back tears, whispering, "Extraordinary." For that moment, Miguel wasn't just a boy from Manila. He was a symbol of resilience, proving that even the most fragile voices can rise to touch the world's strongest hearts. Backstage, Miguel rushed into his mother's arms, still trembling, golden confetti clinging to his hair and clothes. His little sister squeezed his hand tightly, her eyes wide with pride. For the first time in years, his mother's face carried more joy than worry. She cupped his cheeks and whispered, "Your father would be so proud." Miguel broke into tears again, clutching her as if afraid to let go. Around them, stagehands and other contestants paused to watch, many wiping away their own tears. In that small corner, surrounded by family and strangers, Miguel realized his song had done more than win applause. It had touched hearts, bridged worlds, and lit a spark of hope. With a smile breaking through his tears, he whispered, "We're going to have a better life now." The story closes with a truth that resonates everywhere: even the smallest voices can create the loudest miracles.